Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch both on the PUP list heading into training camp. We are so f***ed. Woo! Just kidding around. It's just the PUP list before training camp. Everything's going to be just fine, said the liar. Look, man, it's like we all knew that Brian Branch wasn't going to be ready. He had his issue in the month of December. Campbell himself even had the quote of being like, I don't know, maybe he'll be ready. There's a chance. And you're like, okay. Kerby Joseph is the gift that keeps on giving with his injury. Long and the short of it is I've been going through doing all these position group by position group grading, and it's pretty difficult to grade the Detroit Lions safety room, in my opinion, simply because when you have two all-pro star studs like Kerby and Branch, and then neither of them are going to be out there week one, it hits hard because the safety room could be one of the very best in the NFL, was one of the best. First and foremost, very interesting encounter. Over the weekend, I shot a wedding out in Holland, and when I did so, somebody was like, oh my God, Let's Talk Lions. So we start talking about the channel and whatnot. That guy then goes, yo, check this out. He goes, there's one of the Detroit Lions cheerleaders. So I met one of the Lions cheerleaders, Andrea, over the weekend. It was great to meet you. It was cool hearing her thoughts about the team and being able to go overseas and go to the Germany game and the excitement there. So it was awesome to meet her. Great talking. And then at another wedding I shot, a longtime listener and subscriber I got to meet. His name was Andy, and that was a blast being able to talk to him, just hearing that he loves the show. It was odd that her name was Andrea and his name was Andy, to meet these two individuals at two different weddings. I don't know, a little serendipitous, a little 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, if you know what I mean. The thing about the PUP list specifically is like Kerby or Branch, even Conklin, the other guy on it, all of them could be taken off at any given moment. And there's like no effect of running through up to training camp. But it really starts to get interesting if we make our way through training camp, August rolls, and we're heading into preseason and they're still on it. That's where things start getting a little dicey. If we make it through training camp and then I think a little bit further, what I understand is will have to miss 4 games, the first 4 games of the season at least. And that's a huge deal, especially you're like, all right, you got week 1, it's New Orleans, it's at home. I don't expect to see Branch, honestly, 4 to 6 weeks, maybe by the time we're playing Green Bay, week 7, and then he can throw double middle fingers up again, just get ejected. It'll be hilarious. First game back, gets ejected. That'd be awesome. But what I understand is you're looking at 4 games initially, and that's going to be tight with New Orleans, Buffalo. I think October 4th is, or then you got the Jets, and then you got Carolina. So it's like, all right, you're really missing the Buffalo game. That's going to suck. The other 3, it's okay. It's like acceptable to me, where I'm like, okay, the Jets, Carolina's meh, but they made the playoffs. We didn't. And then New Orleans, they're just going to be juiced. Anything can happen week 1. Now, the tough thing for me, like I said, is grading this. Where this room stands, when you look at the roster right off the bat, you got Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph, strong safety, free safety. From there, you got Avonte Maddox coming back, which I absolutely love, Chuck Clark, Dan Jackson, Thomas Harper, and Lauren Strickland. That's where it stands at the moment. The truth of the matter is, without Branch and without Kerby, you're going to be starting Avonte Maddox, and most likely Chuck Clark would be my other guess. Now, Dan Jackson's a guy that I'm very interested in seeing. Last year, he obviously had that injury in training camp, wasn't able to play at all. He was a guy I was excited about. They'd be like, okay, let's see what this kid can do. We'll see. The depth is okay. You start looking through that and you go, okay, the depth is, it's all right, but it's actually all right after Branch and Kerby. Without Kerby and Branch, there's not a lot of depth there, and there's not a lot of options if Avonte Maddox goes down, if Clark goes down. Yeah, Harper, one thing I've loved about the Detroit Lions, specifically the defense over the last 2 years, is they'll put anybody out there any given Sunday, and those guys will give everything they've got. Like, I remember there was that one game where it was the Legion of Whom, where everybody was like, who the hell are these guys? And they went out there and they played some serious ball, And it was guys like Harper. It's guys like Strickland, Whiteside. It's these guys who get out there where you're like, dang, I'm ashamed to say I don't even know who you are, but you're playing lights out football. So that brings me to, what is a success this season? A success is Kerby Joseph gets back out there and does not suffer an injury. Heck, I don't even care if he plays mediocre ball, because mediocre for Kerby is going to be good for most safeties across the board in the NFL. I just want to see him play a full season from the moment he starts. And obviously that's not going to be all 17 games, because I don't see him out there week 1. I really don't. I think the Lions are going to try to be smart with him. It could be after Buffalo that we get to see him out there. It's all time will tell. Time will tell. And I think a successful season is Kerby bounces back, plays a mediocre year coming off the injury, but does not get injured again. And then Brian Branch, we see starting week 7 is my hope. And I could be overshooting it. I really could be. But based on the injury and when he suffered it, I'm like, you don't know. You and I don't know. We're not in the building. We don't get to sit there and chalk it up and find out exactly what's going on. And Campbell only gives us so much. So I'm hoping that Brian Branch is back week 7. From there, it's Avonte Maddox playing solid ball, and Dan Jackson stepping up and being a solid rotational piece. A disappointment is if Kerby comes back and we watch him holding his hip or his knee 3 games after coming back and he's getting carted off. If we see Kerby, if Kerby Joseph leaves the game due to injury again this season, that's going to be some heavy disappointment for me in this safety room. Brian Branch, I'm not worried about. It's because Kerby's had the problems and they've been ongoing, and he kind of gets hit by that bug, even though they're different parts of his body. First the hip, then the knee. It's like he's been stricken with it multiple times. I feel like we're playing Oregon Trail, and Kerby Joseph was bit by a rattlesnake. And then you chuck the wagon, and the wagon sinks. And you go, damn. I just lost 700 pounds of meat. It was probably going to spoil anyways. The X factor is how quickly can Branch get back? Because with Kerby, I do worry, but with Branch, I'm not worried that he's going to re-aggravate the injury. And I just think it's how quickly can we get him back? Can we get him back by Green Bay or before? We obviously have the bye week ahead of time. I think week 6 is when our bye week is. So if that's the case, man, if he could be healthy coming off of week 5, he's good to go week 6, has that week to train up and get ready to get back on the board. I mean, that safety duo is so friggin' good that it's going to be sad not to see the two of them out there all season long. It's just a matter of when can we get them both out there? Will both of them be out there for at least half the season together? So let's grade the group. If I'm including Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph, it's an A. Like our safety tandem is one of the best in the NFL. I think it's an A. I think it comes in at around a 95, 96. But the problem is, will we see the both of them out there together this season, and for how long? Without Kerby and Brian Branch, when I'm looking at the talent, that's where it starts getting a little dicey. The depth behind the two of them is solid, but without the two of them, there's no real depth. It fades because you lose 2 guys right off the bat. You're already dipping into the pockets. So I think your depth comes in at a C, because at the moment we don't have the either of them. Now the long-term future is where it gets really interesting, because we locked down Kerby, but how is his injury going to develop? Brian Branch still needs to be locked down. Does it become a trading chip? Avonte Maddox is here for a year. Jackson, I don't even know how good he is. I think the long-term future is coming in at a C+. Just because we've locked down Kerby, and I love that. I would love to bump it higher, but what's this injury going to be? And how long is he going to be out? It could either range. Kirby's contract alone could range from an A+ to an F. I just got to hit him in the middle, because we don't know what to expect. Brian Branch, love the guy. I want him to be a Lion for a long time. I think his ceiling is high. How does he bounce back off of this injury, and does he get the deal to stick around longer? Again, you're looking at an A to an F. Do we just trade him and get rid of him and move on? Recoup a draft pick here? Or is he long-term? I'm landing at a C. Avonte Maddox, he's just C plus B minus ball. And then the rest are a lot of question marks for me. So I'm going to have to just land the plane at the overall at about a C plus, B minus, simply because we are missing our two studs. With them out on the field, healthy, we're one of the best. Without them, I don't know what we are. And that's why I can't really feel too confident grading us above a C plus in this moment. But yeah, man, those are just my thoughts as we head into training camp. Getting excited for that to begin. But drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get ready because the season's rolling. Good news, I'm partnering with Founders Brewing once again heading into this year. For anybody who's stuck around this long, I know most people only make it half of a video. But if you stuck around this long, man, you've done it. You've done it. And yeah, Founders Brewing is going to be sponsoring the show again for all the post-game shows, which is super exciting. I was actually just out there over the weekend, just enjoying and, man, looking forward to it. Looking forward to the year. Oh, you know what? I didn't give a Lord of the Rings reference. It feels like, off the top of my head, our safeties room is the journey of Frodo and Sam together to Mordor. It's Brian Branch and it's Kerby Joseph, and the two of them are bearing the weight the whole way. The injuries are racking up. There's pain, there's loss, there's suffering, and they're out there. And will they cast the ring into the fire? The sad thing is when you think about Sam and he says, there should be enough lemonness bread. And Frodo says, enough bread for what? For the journey home. Oh, Sam. My dear Sam. I don't know if there's going to be a journey home. Because we on the PUP list.